Hello, in this quick video I will show you one different way to get information from a website or a web application besides using document query selector. For example, let's say that you're developing a Chrome extension for YouTube and you need to get this information, the title of the video. YouTube has very descriptive selectors. Using this selector is quite reliable to get the title of the video. If we visit another video, if we go to a different video and use the selector, we will get a different title. In case of YouTube, this selector is unlikely to change and you can use it to get this title very reliably. However, not all websites have semantic HTML like YouTube. So in this video, I will show you one other way to get this information. If we go to Network, click Search, and search for the title of this video, we will get several results. Now, if we click on one of them, we will see response object, which is what YouTube gets when the website searchers sends a request to their backend. Now, if we input this URL in filter, we will see that this endpoint gets called every time we navigate to a different video. It is possible with Chrome extensions to intercept this request and get this response object, and from that point we will be able to read this text, the title of the video. And let me show you how to do that. Now let's reload the page. If we make this request, in this column type we can see that this is a fetch request, which means that YouTube used window.fetch to execute it. Now if I type window.fetch in console, I will see native code here. What we can do is override this function. After we execute this function in console, YouTube will be calling our new function whenever the website wants to make a request. If I click thumbs up, this function will be executed by YouTube. And if in the console, we can see the request that's made by YouTube. We can see that it's like. How do we use this to get the title of the video? Now, there are several steps that we need to do. First of all, let's reload the page. Executing this code in the console without the debugger, YouTube uses window fetch to change videos without reloading the website. However, if we replace window fetch with our own function, this feature of YouTube will break, and after that, clicking on a new item will force the website to be reloaded, and the code that we executed in the console will be lost. To avoid that, we need to return a response from the function that we create. So in this snippet, you can see that we save the real fetch function in a variable, and then when YouTube calls window fetch, we call this saved function and return the response. However, we also have access to arguments that are passed to this request. So let's execute this code in console and see the result. Now, when I navigate to a different video, I can see a lot of requests being logged into console, and the YouTube website is not reloaded, so that feature is not broken. Now, there are a lot of requests being made, but this is the one we care about, that has next in URL. So let's filter all the requests we get and only log into console the request that we want. Reload the page, execute the code, now navigate to a different video, and now we see request response being logged into console. Now let's try to access the response body, the JSON that actually has the title in it. To do that, let's call response.json and log the JSON into console. Again, we have to reload the page and put this code in the console, execute it, navigate to a different video, navigate to this video, and we see the response being logged into console. One thing you have to keep in mind when working with this API is that calling response.json multiple times is not possible. So you can only read response body once. So if we write this JSON1 and JSON2 and log this into console, when making the requests like this, we will see 3 promises here. And 2 of them are errors. Failed to execute JSON because the body stream was already read, and this may cause issues with the website we're working on. So instead of calling JSON or text, instead of reading response body on the response object directly, we need to use a response clone to clone the response object, and then we can read the JSON safely. It's very important to keep in mind not to break the website where we are changing this fetch function. Okay, now let's execute this code and see the JSON that we get in the body. We have to reload page first, execute the code, and moving to a different page, so logs the response body into console. Now, as you can see, this object is very complex. It has a lot of properties. So I created a small function like this that logs every string of the response JSON into console. So if I run it, instead of just logging the console, the extension or our snippet will log all this text into console. And if I search for the title of this video, I can see it in several places in the response, and it's up to you to select which one you want to use. So this looks more or less reliable. So if I copy this string and put it here, instead of logging the entire JSON, logging only this part, the title. Let's try this out. As you can see, now navigating to a new video just logs the title of the video that we navigate to into console. This method may seem more cumbersome and more complicated, but in a lot of cases using this method is more reliable than using document query selector to get information from the page in cases where the DOM is not readable, is not semantic. Also, if we check out the response body that we got, so if the HTML of the page is not readable, is not semantic, and the selectors change a lot, you can use this method to get information from the page reliably. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.